a question from the audience.
Okay, I'm still Kate Harper. Candidate Ramos, I was going to ask you how you were going to reduce the national debt because you did talk about that under infrastructure, but I think that was handled with that gentleman's question. So what I would like to ask both of you is, what do you do about my grandchildren's Social Security?
Candidate Ramos?
Mine? It's not just your grandchildren's Social Security, it's my nieces and nephews and everybody else's Social Security. We got to scrap the cap. There's different methods of raising the funding that's needed for Social Security. You know, one of the topics that have come up has been raising the age, and I think that it's basically, again, that is racial, institutional racism again, because the people who actually need Social Security are the ones that are working harder, who don't have enough money, are working the hard jobs, and they need to retire early because they did the hard work. So there's a lot of options on the table, but we got to start with scrapping the cap.
Alida Skold?
Yes, scrap the cap, absolutely. Right now, the cap is at $118,500 of income is taxed for Social Security contributions. That's part of saying that the 1%, the top 1%, their income needs to be taxed more than what it is right now to support Social Security. When they have 21% of our nation's wealth going to them, they need to also be responsible for 21% of the public systems in order to make it work. So we need to figure this out. We need to make it make sense, and so that it's good for your grandchildren and your grandchildren's grandchildren.
Thank you. Each candidate will now have 2 minutes to make a closing statement. Candidate Ramos, can you go first, please?
Thank you again for providing for this forum. I'm proud to have the endorsement from the following people for my campaign: Congressman Adam Smith, King County Councilwoman Claudia Balducci, State Senator Marilyn Chase, former State Senator Margarita Prentice, Representative Sullivan, Cooter, Tarleton. Also the King County Democrats, the Pierce County Democrats, and the following legislative districts: the 5th, the 30th, the 31st, the 41st, the 45th, the 47th, and the 48th, as well as the Progressive Caucus, the Asian American Pacific Islanders Caucus, the King County Young Democrats, and the Pierce County Young Democrats. For the past 12 years, the people of the 8th Congressional District have not been represented. The current representative may have been a good sheriff, but we do not need a sheriff in Congress. We need a representative, and I want to be that representative. I work every day to represent all of you. I want to go to Washington to be a champion for the middle class. I understand hard work and determination. I worked as a busboy, a dishwasher, and a cashier. With perseverance, I became a small business owner. I will bring my experience of hard work, determination, and perseverance to represent you in Congress. I'm the future of the Democratic Party. I'm part of the next generation, and I'm part of the growing demographic. I'm Santiago Ramos, and I'm a Democratic candidate for Congress in the 8th Congressional District, and I ask for your vote on August 2nd.
Thank you. Candidate Skold?
Thank you very much, everyone, for this opportunity to discuss the 8th Congressional District race. It's a very important topic, and I appreciate all the work and effort that went into this. I have quite a few endorsements as well. I'm going to ask you to go to my website to take a look at those. There's one, however, that I feel is very important that I do mention, and that is the Native American Caucus has endorsed me as well. Now let's move to minimum wage and living wage. So I discussed that a little bit this evening. What I wanted to also say is that with the minimum wage, when we improve our economy further, we can actually make that a living wage. Right now, nobody can live on a minimum wage. We need to be able to have a better economy, and by creating jobs and having economic development, we can start doing that. And so I have some plans on how to do that. One of those is to build sustainable 21st century infrastructure with clean tech and a power grid that uses renewable energy and battery backup. So if we have a high-speed bullet train that's using electricity, renewable electricity, that goes from the west side of the district to the east side of the district in minutes instead of hours, we can open up arid desert land that's not being used for anything and use that for affordable housing and for building manufacturing industry and businesses. We can do that by using clean tech. It's a closed system. So Orange County is already using it, by the way. It's closed, there's no wastewater, and the power grid that's using hydrogen fuel cell with battery backup, the byproduct of that, believe it or not, is water. And so if you lose a little bit of water out of the system, it's always replenished through the power grid. That would create jobs, it would create economic development, and it would increase productivity, and it would also decrease carbon pollution. Very important. I have other plans for economic development as well. Another time, I'd love to talk with you about that. I hope you vote for me August 2nd. Thank you very much.
I want to thank everyone for participating in tonight's forum. This was an all-volunteer effort, and I would especially like to mention Kat Williams and Jackie Bricker, who had this handed to them a few weeks ago when there was no forum planned at all, and now to pull this together.